So
need
I
to
have.
play what?
So we have begun.
Oh, okay.
Hello, guys and gals. Welcome back to the Wildlands. I am your host with the most, Dr. John Wolfenstein here, and welcome back to the operating room. I do apologize for the lack of cameras this time. I am still away visiting my brother David, and
Hello.
I do not have a proper setup at his place because I'm only here once a year. So it would be really mean to the computers to leave them here and, take up space in his condo. So I'm operating off my laptop today. There will not be any cameras, but we will still, of course, be streaming and recording the session for posterity, and you guys can catch it later. Also, I do apologize that there will be a lot less interaction with stream than normal because I am working off of one screen because I do not have the money to buy the dual monitor attachment for laptops because that shit's expensive for no earthly reason. That shit is unreasonably expensive. $600 for one of those fucking things.
Does your computer have a HDMI slot to it?
Yeah, it does.
You can run it through to a TV, and you can actually set the TV as a second monitor.
Yes.
Or any other regular monitor you have in general.
Yes, I can do that, except the TV's on the other side of the room here.
Well, that is a you problem. I'm just offering solutions.
Yeah, mama.
You have a chair. Move
Do you have a USB-C port on your laptop, Brent?
A USB-C?
Yeah.
It looks like I do.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it's a newer laptop.
I'll be back.
Creative problem solving.
I'll be Beethoven. But
All you need to do, Brent.
all I need is love.
No, all you got to do is complain. Just complain and ask for help.
Complaining and
We're here
asking
for
for
you.
help are not the same thing.
Your family's here for you.
I
Which
agree with you
May
there.
or may not include me. I hope it does.
But complaining and asking for help are not the same thing.
Yes, this is very true.
Nobody tells Costco about what? I wasn't going to tell Costco about nothing. My chair.
You have to move a lot of stuff, and I'm sorry, Mason.
It's just life. Gotta do what we gotta do.
Yep, we all gotta do what we all gotta do. For some reason, it won't even let me view my own Twitch stream chat, so there's other reasons.
The
Apparently
doctor is in. Come and join the fun.
Yep, the doctor is definitely in.
I just got the notification on my phone.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I disable locations.
You mean notifications?
Notifications and locations. Sorry, my brain's kind of melting right now. I haven't eaten yet.
You-
Food.
You
All of the Asians.
Well, on the plus side, I have solved one problem. However, I do apologize, Twitch, as it will not let me view my own Twitch chat. Apparently, I need to log in to my own goddamn Twitch.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Let me close the door. It's probably echoing.
Yeah, no. Apparently, I need to log into my own goddamn Twitch stream to read my own goddamn Twitch chat.
Yeah, don't you just love that? Twitch is weird.
Technology, man, don't make no sense.
It was supposed to make everything faster. I mean, it did
As usual,
on a grand
I do
scale.
have the stream up, and I've got the mod view, so I can watch for any shenaniganry.
Excuse me. Yes, no chicanery, shaboingery, or tomfoolery. That means you, Callie.
That means you, Callie.
But what did I do? I have never, ever done anything foolish.
So much tomfoolery.
Ever.
So much.
All right.
Cats raise hell, but you never catch 'em at it.
Mhm.
That is not true.
They look you in the eye when they do it.
Yeah, that's actually probably more
That's a little
accurate.
bit more accurate.
Or they jump on your face at 2 o'clock in the morning and scratch the shit out of you because their name is impossibly long and they're made of evil.
Well, they were looking at your eyes when they did it. It's your fault for closing them.
Listen, they were merciful. They let you survive.
Yeah, you were just a citizen in their kingdom.
Yeah, well, there's a
A
reason.
mere-
I mean,
there's
they-
a reason I sided against the Targaryens.
Nah.
But I digress. Welcome back to the Wildlands, everyone. We are happy to be back and happy to continue on with our story. Poor Whitehill is suffering the path of all students. He is doing the learning of the things to be a successful, productive member of society.
I mean, after this, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. I've enrolled for 2 new classes at the college, so.
Well, damn, Mason. Just making me look bad or something.
Bitch, we can't make you look bad. You've already done your schooling.
I mean,
You are quite literally a doctor.
I do not have my doctorate. I was not going to devote 10 years of my life to a degree that was not going to pay me.
You are the closest one to a doctor than the rest of us are, okay? Does that work? Fuck you.
No, not really, but okay.
I mean, kinda, it does, actually.
I will castrate you, man.
He has the
Oh.
You got 2 months to do it.
Oh, you officially have the date?
Yeah, of course I do.
Ah, yes, that is true. Poor Matt is going to be moving across the country, and he's going to be leaving us. No, I'm kidding. He'll probably still be around.
Hopefully.
What? No, God. I mean, I'll be here, but in virtual space, but in real life, I'm moving.
Yeah, no, I meant
Yeah,
virtual space.
that's
all
what
I
we
care
mean.
about.
Oh, yeah,
You don't
okay.
just get to move
Good.
across the country and then just disappear, you son of a bitch.
The enemy
Oh,
coming.
I
to
will
this
have
end.
Vera slap you if you're not at session. I'll get
need
Willow
you
up there.
to find my wallet, because otherwise I will panic and be afraid.
I'll find
Because
your
I'm
wallet.
gonna-
Calm down. But anyway,
Thank you.
when last we left off, our heroes, or our party of misfit toys, whatever you care to call them.
Wow.
That's actually more accurate than I meant it to be.
I don't know what kind of toys you mean, and that concerns me considering what Gobsy is.
We'll get your dirty mind out of the gutter.
Oh, you can fit
Hentai.
through so many spaces.
You're not helping anything, Callie.
She never claimed to be!
That was in character. Yuki would be impressed.
But our party had successfully returned back to the thicket, returning Feline's husband to him, who also happens to be the son of the prince of the thicket. They met with some NPCs, like Friend Owl, in order to stock up on supplies. They, of course, re-met Flower, the skunk apothecary. And as such, upon their return, they were able to...
She tried to shoot me out of her store.
Yes.
It was great.
He did try to shoo you out of his store.
It was a
Thinking
very
you
lame
were Bat
attempt.
Slime.
He is not good with conflict. He is just a soft, stinky boy. And it's not his fault he's stinky. It's just nature. But, at any rate, with the return of Feline's husband, they talked to the prince and more or less convinced him that they are here to establish a location where the sovereignty can set up basically an outpost, and they don't have to deal with the nest. Not entirely untrue, but not entirely accurate for some. Of course, some of the party are just here looking for allies and looking to trade and open up talks of peace and negotiations. And there are other people who have other agendas. Everybody here is playing the double, triple secret agent man, and nobody knows it. Or like an episode of Spy X Family. Everyone has an alter ego. Nobody knows what it is.
We're
Except
not
in
that
Oliver's
functional
case.
of a
We all know
family.
Oliver's case. Oliver's being a double triple agent and has said as much from the outset.
It's not a triple agent, it's double. She's stated as much.
I think you're unknowingly a triple agent right now. I don't think you know that. You know, you're kind of spying on yourself at this point.
She definitely wouldn't understand if she was.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to understand to be a villain. I mean, a spy.
But at any rate, so with the party now returning young prince to the thicket and having talked to the prince, they have found that things in the Scourged Swamp, as well as most of the Wildlands, is not very peachy keen, hunky-deen. However, they did learn a lot about this world and about the Wildlands in general. The most interesting piece being that when the Wildlands was first really created, there used to be humanoids. Humans, elves, other such creatures. However, upon the shattering, as it is called, the Great Apocalypse, upon that happening, the non-bestial people, or those who were not blessed with the power of the Wildlands, quickly succumbed to a plague that seemed to only affect them. No one knows how or why, but what is known is that they all either died off or adapted. The wild elf that you rescued introduced himself. His name is Volk. Oh wait, excuse me. No, it's Silva. Volk is someone else. Excuse me, I'm misremembering NPCs here. Silva introduced himself as one of the members of the wolf wild elves. None of you really have an idea of what that means, other than he has told you that his clan of elves are blessed by the wild god known as Wolf. So, those of you who have knowledge of the wild gods have an understanding of what that means. He offered to take you to his people, who would then help you find your way to the Grove of the Gods in order to help you establish a safe haven that you guys could call your own. Of course, another proposition was offered that you could journey to the rat folk of a place called Nim, which is not too far away. And if you went to Nim, you would be able to talk to their leader, who would then point you in the direction of the oldest of Owl's living children, known as the Great Owl. He has been called the wisest of all creatures currently in existence, and he is the one who would help you find the location that you needed or wanted, as he would know best. However, you guys decided that it's time to go visit some elves in a forest. You guys were then given the night to kind of prepare for any journeys you wanted to make, as well as to rest and recover for the evening before you set off on your journey the next day. Is there anything anyone wanted to do in the meantime, or shall we just skip to the day of travel?
Because I missed out on a lot last week, I do have some things for various characters.
Okay.
And various things I kind of needed to settle up in the town.
Sure.
Because we need to make a roll for one. How did my kittens do while selling and recruiting?
Indeed. I would like a D100 for the selling and a D20 for the recruiting.
All right, so here's the roll for selling. 1D100. Roll 1D100. This isn't Call of Cthulhu, right? Where low is good. Oh, whoops! It's a D20 on the other.
Yep. So, you do find that your kittens, unfortunately with the presence of flour here, they weren't able to sell much. They do bring you 4 gold, 12 silver, and 24 copper, though.
Okay, so 12 gold. Let's just add that.
4
That's-
gold.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 gold. 89? Copper? Or silver and copper?
12 silver,
Got it.
24 copper.
Done.
Now, as for cats, they aren't really able to find any cats as you know them, any feral cats. Unfortunately, the swamp does not encourage that kind of wildlife. However,
Feline.
they were able to find 2 Meowlicos. Meowlicos being a race of humanoid felines. They tend to be very helpful, very cooperative. They don't have a spoken language such as it is. It consists of meows and basically it's cat speech. And they were able to find 2 Meowlicos here in the swamp, which is unusual, as Meowlicos tend to stay in the Great Plains. But the 2 Meowlicos have agreed to accompany you and them in order to journey back home with you.
So I'm going to say that I'm going to add on Yuki's character sheet, because I think this makes sense, cat speech.
Yes.
Because, yeah, that makes sense. So, cat speech. Alright, added. And, alright, so, yeah, I have made 2 new friends.
Mm-hmm.
Which Yuki is very excited about. Okay, the other thing is that I was taking care of some business with our prince. Or with the prince.
Which one?
Prince... Well, the one in charge, who's
Yes.
also named Prince.
Yeah.
So as you you are able to approach him just fine. And as you approach him, he looks to you.
Yep. So Yuki just gives a slight bow, being the kitten that she is. I believe, sir, I have done something amazing for you, no?
I would not stretch it to amazing, but it is definitely of benefit.
I was hoping that you would give special consideration to my paperwork, if you would.
He looks to your paperwork and nods. I have, and I certainly am willing to work with anyone, so long as they are not a ally of the enemy of all of us.
Very wise, very wise. The Cube respects your decision. As do I. She gives a slight bow, just smiling. Good trade is good for everybody. Good, alliances are good for everybody.
I certainly agree. I would hate to think that such an alliance could not be had.
You
After
see her
all,
take...
We all need to understand that we are, in danger.
Of course, of course. And this kind of alliance does not... And she takes a sniff. Smell like treachery, no?
No, it doesn't.
Good. Then we are in agreement. I will give you my paw. And she takes like a little bit of ink and puts her paw print on the paper.
He nods, and you can see him make an imprint on the paper. And as he does, a very interesting kind of it's almost ink, but not quite. But it is, it's definitely odd. And as he pulls his hoof away, And so it is sealed.
Yes. And here is the second copy for the cube.
He nods.
You know, getting all the paperwork, all dotting the I's and everything. Thank you. Thank you. You know, your son, it was very brave.
Yes, he is promising. I will have to remember to say a prayer to Malorn to make sure his mother has a swift, safe passage.
My apologies.
He shakes his head. Not apologize. I only met her long enough.
Well, your son, if I may overspeak, has met a beautiful, beautiful young thing. Very concerned about her. No?
He doesn't really say anything to that. Instead, he just kind of seems to look at you.
Well, I only mean that she is a good woman, capable, feeds. I think that a gift is in order for her, for all of her concern.
He shrugs. Hard to give gifts to a dead woman.
Well, no, this was the woman in town.
Oh, Feline?
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Feline.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
who
who
was
she's talking about.
talking about the person because she
Yeah.
was all interested romantically. It seemed.
And
At least that's the vibe Yuki got.
he simply shrugs. They will... They do not need me to interfere with their courtship. It will happen in its own time.
If I may overspeak,
He looks down at you.
you come across quite stern, I think. And she grabs a little bottle of perfume. That this would be a peace offering.
He takes it and looks at it. Very well. I suppose I could attempt to, I believe the term is play nice.
It would do you much credit as a lord. Not that I know anything about leadership or politics.
He waves his hand. What you know or don't know is of little interest to me, to be quite frank. But
Yet you are still taking my advice. She just says, like, friendly, but, like, pointing this out, you know, it's like,
he shrugs.
I am here to help.
He shrugs. Good advice is always good advice, no matter who delivers it.
Exactly. Even a lowborn like myself.
He looks down at you. And you can tell that he knows.
Or at least suspects.
And you get the feeling that the more you talk, the more he knows.
He definitely has insight. Well, oh, sorry. Whoops, I dropped into Annabella from the other day. Well, I appreciate you having me. And she does, like, the full-on, like, Japanese kneel bow. You know, both legs. And I request to be away from your presence with your permission.
He kind of snorts, amused. This is not the kingdom. We do things very differently here. You may leave my presence whenever you wish. I'm not your keeper.
But it is out of respect. And you see Yuki, you know, smile, taking her paperwork and, like, wrapping them up and stuffing them inside her armor. And then she, you know, takes her leave. Because I gotta mess with our bunny.
He kind of shrugs and nods. Tell the QB that they cannot stay idle forever. They will have to pick a side.
I believe, she says, looking at the paperwork, that we are making efforts to do so. Gube Junko is very admissible to the plight of your people and many people. Now that's just a bold-faced lie.
He just snorts at you again, and then just seems to take his leave. And as you return,
so-
Bunny, where are you at?
Studying maps.
Ooh, this will be fun.
And where are you studying these maps? In the inn/tavern?
Yeah.
So, one of the little servants that you've seen working for Yuki, kind of as you're studying, kind of gently pulls on your sleeve, giving a plaintive meow. Hey.
Tobias is being harassed by cats.
Will be ignored.
There is more insistent meowing. Nuzzle, nuzzle, nuzzle.
Push slowly.
As they get the attention that they've been like addressed, they point, and they point at you and go, and they say one word, teach.
Oh, of course.
And they smile, and you see them kind of climb up on the map, on the maps, and go, want to learn this. And the little cat does like a hand motion. Plants do this. Why? And you realize that the cat is asking you, how do things grow?
Plant growth has to do with the consumption of certain nutrients from the soil, the rain, and sunlight. They have a plant. I need to roll a knowledge check. How far has science advanced in this world so I'm not fucking shit up?
No worries. So from where you are, fertilizer exists. Modern farming, so not modern farming, but the ideas of irrigation canals, the ideas of photosynthesis are well known, though it's explained very differently. There's not a concrete word for it. It's just known that plants absorb sunlight and gain nutrients from that in some fashion. There is also the idea of a magical ward or a magical mix with, or alchemic components mixed with soil to keep out vermin or disease. Basically, just remove the technology and farming is much as it always has been. The idea of crop rotation is not unknown to people.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, so basically all the farming just minus the big old machines. It's really sad that farming really hasn't changed much in thousands of years.
Yeah, but we know more of the specifics now. Like,
Yeah. It's funny
More
because
things- do I know about nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium?
Yes, you
Big
know
ones.
of these alchemical components
Okay.
and their benefits for plant life.
Grafting plants.
You do that with druid magic. They're
So,
called plant shapers. However, to condense the time just a little bit,
I don't get to give an actual lecture on all the stuff I know about plants. I've
I'm
been reading botany textbooks in my spare time last week. Let me do this.
okay. Go ahead.
it'll be role play.
Now, if we're talking about where exactly how plants change to grow in different areas, first we'll have to start off talking about ferns. Ferns are produced via spores in the air. And They. Okay.
You
How
see
much
a
do you
head
already
tilt
know?
from this. Yeah, you see a head tilt through this. Sunlight equals pretty flowers.
You also need to make sure the soil has the right nutrients.
Got it. So you feed the soil?
You feed the soil, you feed the plants. You need to feed the soil nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. You can do this a number of ways. There
You can
are
see they got
different-
lost at the chemical reaction, and then they're like, well, can we just give them fish?
In some cases, yes. Cuttlefish bone works very well mixed into soil, as well as if you grow certain plants, it can rejuvenate the soil for other plants to grow, because they host small organisms that help revitalize the soil and mix some of these alchemical components back into it.
And you see the cat, like, listening very intensely, and then with their little paw is, like, writing stuff down the best they can. There is misspellings galore.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
And then
Yeah.
it put alchemical equal magic.
That
It's trying to understand, but
I'm
being
looking at
a
your
little
notes, and
cat.
that technically works, but only for certain varieties of magic. The type of plants that rejuvenate the soil are known as legumes. They have a symbiotic relationship with bacteria in the soil, and it's strangely enough, these bacteria are present in all soil, but they only produce the nitrogen and enrich the soil when they form this relationship with legumes, and they start forming colonies in the roots. It's actually all very fascinating.
That's the notes that the cat is writing down as you're speaking. And you see them kind of perk up. All right, so I need to feed the magical helpers to make the plants grow. And that'll produce better flowers? Yes?
Not specifically for flowers. This is specifically for re-enriching soil to grow other things after the legumes. If you are wanting to grow only flowers, you'll have a difficult time of it, as flowers will sap all the nutrients they can from the soil, and then once those nutrients start to get used up, they will start to release their seeds in hopes of colonizing elsewhere. It's actually quite interesting, because not all flowering plants have seeds, and not all seeds come from flowering plants. As I was saying about the ferns,
And this is about the time where Yuki returns.
There is an excited meowing as Yuki returns, as this little cat comes up with their notes and like shows it to her, kind of like a kid putting something on the fridge. Like, look what I did.
I did the writing.
Yep. And they're like, it's alchemy. They say, trying to put it all together. And Yuki kind of gives a sympathetic, like, pat it. You could tell Yuki's probably pretty well versed in this subject, actually. I have nature proficiency and all that. And you see Yuki take a seat next to you as, thank you, Ko. You may continue on now. And you see the cats, excitedly kind of run off, muttering something about, yeah, learning is hard and I'm super hungry now. As the little cat goes off. And you see Yuki look over. So, Tobias.
yes,
Thank you for giving my little one a lesson. I know you were busy. What were you looking for on the map?
oh, I was just comparing the maps that I have with the maps that the prince and his people provided.
Yuki's going to take a look at the map, and like the areas that she knows, she's going to kind of like point out what's correct and incorrect. And just kind of making small talk throughout.
Thank you.
You see, I value your knowledge immensely, actually. Bringing all that celestial knowledge from the sky, you must have had a bird's eye view, which is why your map's incorrect. Clearly.
So now I'm just thinking about ferns.
Ferns? Oh,
They never let me get to that part of the lesson.
Yuki's like looking at the notes, trying to interpret. Like we're. Yeah, they didn't quite understand what a fern. Poor thing. They said that the plant needed to be firm. I think they misunderstood.
The plants don't need to be firm. They're just a specific variety of plant that you can find in most places because of the way they reproduce.
You see Yuki raise one hand up. I'm aware, my friend. Instead of just, analyzing their little cat companion's notes. And then you see her kind of take some of the loose paper and kind of folding it up while talking, Tobias, I know you are not from the sky.
I figured at this point you were just teasing me.
I enjoy it well enough, but I have a reputation to maintain. Knowledge is very valuable to these little cats. They are only freshly learning. They are like children, no?
Yes.
So they are all my kittens in a way. And I appreciate it if I were to pay you or reward you. Would you mind periodically giving them lessons?
Not at all.
I appreciate your knowledge. I think there's a lot we could have to help one another. And she's folding this up, and you see that she's made a little paper lantern. Out of just some loose sheets of paper, and kind of hands it over. Something to help you light your way.
Thank you.
Well, I think if you're going to bring education and light to people, you should have a source for it. And she kind of smiles and gives her little, nod. But what do I know? I'm just a mere seller of scent. But if you're going to teach, I want you to look like a teacher.
Silas looks down at his tweed jacket.
Shots fired? Question mark?
Again, different cultures.
He looks like a teacher too.
Yeah, he looks like a teacher to anybody from a Western culture for sure.
Yep.
Just not too.
It's the culture he comes from.
Yeah. And she just nods.
From the sovereignty, I do look like a teacher. Pretty generic one, actually.
Oh. I see. So they all wear tweed jacket? Oh, it's a uniform! And she starts writing it down just like her cat did. Kind of same habit.
That's
It's
where
not
she
quite
picked it
a
up.
required uniform. It became popular because of its comfort and not a lot of places of education have ways to keep you properly. Anyway,
That is horrible. See, in my land, I would give you the finest if you were to teach. Knowledge is the only thing that, balances things out. May I give you an example?
of course.
She gets her rifle, and she lays it out on the table.
My.
My homeland is stuck between a conflict between industrialization and keeping nature as it is. Knowledge is the thing, I believe, the way to maybe maintain both, no?
Makes sense.
If it's efficient to run it both ways. Unfortunately, in my homeland, many do not feel the same way. There is a drive. And I believe, and she gets that lantern, and you see her, put a little candle under it and light it as it begins to do, the little lift-off. Paper created from nature with knowledge and industry, for example. Producing flight, no?
Yes.
Exactly. The two in tandem can do more than, well, it can do magic. For there is no other word for it, at least that I'm aware.
In some cases, it's quite literally magic.
Of course. But to people like me who have no such things, this is a great asset.
Even I do. Sorry to correct on a small point, but even if you have no natural talent for magic and can't cast spells rapidly like wizards or sorcerers or the like, with proper study of rituals, you can still make adequate use of magic without.
Of course, I think you have a point, but there's only so much room and time. A person can only dedicate themselves to so many masteries. If I had the time to learn rituals in addition to the sciences, I would probably do so. But, my duties as a merchant take up most of my tasks.
And I'm sorry for taking us off topic. You were speaking of the industrialization of your country and how you feel that a balance of nature and industrialization would be best.
In a perfect world, yes. But... no, I believe your disagreement is fair. I want you to disagree with me, Tobias. I need to understand different viewpoints. So please feel free to do so in the future.
Well, one of the main reasons that I'm here is much the same as your own. The Beast can, in the sovereignty, fear they are losing connection with nature, and fear it dreadfully. At least our current ruler does. And we wish to rekindle that connection, as losing part of our culture is one of the worst deaths a society can endure.
At least in that we are in full agreement. Let us do our best to not make it happen in both of our cultures. No?
Great.
And she smiles and just kind of looks back up at the little lantern, which is doing its best to kind of hit the roof ceiling.
I certainly hope that doesn't catch anything.
Yeah, see? Improper use of industrialization, and you see her, like, trying to find a way to get somebody to grab it for her.
I'm just gonna use Mage Hand and pull it back down.
See? And she blows it out, little whiffs of smoke. Very polite, very light scent, since she used one of her scented candles. And... well, I'll leave you back to your studies, Tobias. I mean, Celestial Bunny.
As the conversation comes to its natural end, is there anything anyone else would like to do within the brambles?
Nothing that I can think of personally.
No more roleplay. No, just making sure there was no more RP anyone wanted to do.
I mean, I'm down for one more for Goo Girl, but I'm gonna leave it be if we need to get moving, because I know we started a little late.
We've got a bot in the Twitch chat.
I'm on it.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that they think some nobody channel like me is worthy of a bot, but like, why?
Besides, we're awesome enough and we run great sessions that we don't need bots to, give us views.
I mean, sure, let's go with that.
Okay, let me be more specific then. We don't need to pay bots to get us views.
Oh, exactly, yeah. I'm not paying nobody shit. I don't pay myself to do this.
I do.
For our Goo Girl, if we want to take the time, I'm going to have one of the cats... okay, I'm going to take one of the other cats. That was Ko talking to Tobias. Lee is going to bother the Goo Girl. our lovely what was your name again in character? Gobsy, right?
Yeah, Gobsy.
So they bring something to you, and it looks like a doll that they have wrapped in bandages, like a mummy.
Oh my god.
And you see them purring hard, like, look at what I did. They bring it to you like an animal bringing like a dead animal to like a rat
Like,
or
or a mouse or something.
yeah. And you see them looking up, like with huge expectation, eyes wide as saucers.
Looks, takes the doll carefully. Here on a scale of like 1 to 10, how like well is it wrapped up?
Oh, it's wrapped to the point that something would probably be smothered to death. It is
Okay.
well wrapped, but not the way you would probably suggest.
Yeah, would be. Gobsy would, not knowing this might upset the cat, would be saying, "This is very good, but how would they breathe?" He's
You
like
see
the
them
face all
look.
covered.
You see the cat like ponder this, like it never occurred to them. And then you just see like the look of horror. And then you see them get the take the doll back like really quickly, like snatch it, and they take their claw and like start poking delicate holes in like the mouth.
There. That's how it do. Like, oh god, they're
Yeah,
gonna die.
And then they look like, please, Dolly can breathe. I fixed it.
Really good. Do you have an interest in medicine?
The cat like nods reciprocally. Yeah, feels sick sometimes.
Kinda sick.
And they point at their chest. Sometimes I far from home and I miss grass and sunbeams. Very sick.
Homesick, little one. And would like give the cat like head rubs.
There's just a little delicate purr. It's a soft little cat. It's no
Yeah.
hero, no. It's not like
Yeah.
Yuki, where you definitely get a vibe that they're like super intelligent.
Or something more than
Yeah.
a mere seller of sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nothing.
Nah, nothing more.
But would, for the sake of brevity, kinda just chat with this little cat about like what their homeland's like. Maybe make them feel a little better.
The cat tells you that it is a place of many fish, of many small birds, and that they can always eat their fill and always take a nap. And they talk about a beautiful castle with many perches for sunbeam cat naps. And they proceed to describe in great detail, but you're not sure how true it is, all the many, many great sleeping places of this castle.
That's amazing. I'm sorry.
The cat loves you.
Oh, hold on. I don't get that till next time. That's why. I was looking at my character sheet to see if I had something, but I was like, wait, I don't get that for a little bit.
What about your home?
Er,
I bet you miss your mud puddles, because you're gooey.
would she describe like kind of, if this is okay, Brent, like, do you think
Yeah,
it's a little more industrialized? That part of the city?
Mhm.
It's more mechanical where I'm from. A lot more. She'd describe it as like. Think. If anybody's played League of Legends, I imagine Zon kind of vibes.
Nice.
Lots of like alleys, stuff like that, like very, like the pipes, like sewer pipes, leakage, and she's from a lab. She was born of science.
Do you sign? The cat is completely lost, trying
Alchemy.
to follow. Okay. Oh, magic! They say, smiling, and then
Would nod gently, like the head side nod, like close enough.
so you miss being in magical tubes.
Oh, I don't know if I quite miss home as much as you do, little one.
Oh. Well, we give you better home. They said just affirm that. Yuki give best home.
Smiles at the little cat.
And I know we have to move on for brevity, so I'm gonna get a sake and call it there, I think.
No worries at all. As you
All right.
all,
Love the little cats. I'm sorry, they're cute.
Yeah, they're cute. Well, they're meant to be roleplay tools.
On the note, in the morning is when brewing's done, correct?
correct.
Okay, cool. We'll get to that in the morning.
So, as you all rest for the evening, it is a quiet night. None of you are woken or disturbed by any dreams or needs. However, this would be Theodore.
Yeah.
You kind of, as you're waking up in the morning, you get the sense that something about your room has changed.
Okay. A drastic change or a slight change?
Something.
Okay. Can I roll a perception check? Or an
Perception
investigation?
or investigation, your choice.
Both are terrible, so I'll do perception.
Both are terrible.
Well, one's a -1.
With a 16 perception, you notice that something has indeed changed. And the thing that has changed is that there is now something in the room that was not there when you went to bed.
That's never unsettling. Okay. What's new?
There is a small box that is wrapped in just simple twine and butcher's paper. And it reads, "To Theodore."
I unwrap the butcher paper.
As you open the box, you see two things. The first of which being a mirror. It's a silver handheld mirror. The glass is very intricately carved, but along the edges are runes and markings. The other item you find is a ball of string. Specifically, it is about... let me see. Aha. You find a excuse me. It is a skein of cotton thread being about, excuse me, being about 30 yards or 30 meters, or a little over or about 30 meters in length. It's not small, but to you it could fit in the palm of one hand. It is intricately woven of gold and silver, and there is a soft magical glow to it.
Oh,
As you pick up the mirror, I'm assuming you pick up the mirror.
yes, I do pick up the mirror.
As you pick up the mirror and look at it, the reflection inside ripples for a moment before you see a reflection that you do know. It is the captain of the ship that brought you here. Technically, your employer.
Oh, okay.
Hello, testing. This thing on? How do I know
I
if this
blur-
thing's on? She says, looking at someone across the way.
Question: have I ever dealt with anything like this before? This item?
So you know of the mirror of speaking. This allows two people to speak to each other through a mirror for about an hour a day, once a day.
Okay, good. I'm
And
just
then
making
it
sure this isn't going to
and then it
something that just
refreshes
surprises
on a
me.
it refreshes every day.
Okay, good. Okay.
And then she seems to, hey, Theodore, is that you?
Yeah. I hope that isn't me in the mirror because I don't think I look like that.
No, it's me. It's your boss.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said That's why I responded.
Oh, okay, good. Anyway, well, thank goodness the package got there. I was worried.
How'd you get it in my room?
I know where you'd be staying. Let's just leave it at that, huh?
Yeah, I
gotta
don't
go
want to
looking
know
in
more
private.
after that.
Yeah, see, the less you know, the better. But hey, so while I got you on the speaker, so to say, so look, I'm gonna read you in on some stuff that you probably did or did not know. I don't know what you do know, so I'm just gonna assume you know nothing and work from there. Is that all right?
Yep. Keep going.
Awesome. So listen, we have a little problem here.